Are you always losing money when the market pulls back? This video is for you. Grab a pen and a notebook because by the end of this video, you will extract a whole lot of knowledge about pullback. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Snipe Pips here again. If you're new to this channel and you've not yet subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that whenever I release a video like this again, you instantly get notified. Welcome back again, once again. Today we're going to be looking at a very most important thing that do caught us in the markets, pullbacks. You understand? So firstly, we're going to talk about two types of pullbacks. We have two types of pullbacks. You understand? You know, when the market is moving in an uptrend, it eventually pullbacks, then continue to the original direction. You understand? The same thing when the market is on a downtrend, it will sell and it will pull back, which means buyers came in, took price up, then it will now sell again. So today I'm going to be telling you guys about pullbacks, the most essential thing you need to know about pullbacks. You understand? And the most important thing why most pullback fail in strong trend. You understand? So now this is a chart. This is the VIX 75 index. First of all, let's look at this uptrend right here. You could see this is an impulsive move. This is a retracement move, which is also called a pullback, and this is another impulsive move, and this is a pullback also. You understand? So all these pullbacks are in the market. They happen often in the market. I believe we all know what pullbacks is. You understand? These are pullbacks in an uptrend market. These are pullbacks in an uptrend market. Then let's now talk about the two types of pullbacks we have, so we can know these two types of pullbacks, so that whenever we open our chart, we can easily know that this is a pullback and this is not a pullback. You understand? So firstly, the first pullback we have is called the aggressive pullback. Then the second one is called the deep pullback. If you're writing, you should jot that down. You understand? So let's just talk about the aggressive pullback. Now, what is aggressive pullback? Aggressive pullback are those pullbacks in the market that do not respect trend lines. They often do not respect trend lines, and they often do not respect key levels. You understand? Those are aggressive pullbacks. Pullbacks that something like this. You can see this move right here, the way this market was moving to the downside. You see, this is an aggressive pullback. You understand? This is an aggressive pullback. The market was in an uptrend here. Let me draw a trend line in this point so you can see and understand what I am talking about here. This was our trend line where the market was on an uptrend. You could see when this aggressive pullback start falling, you see from here, from this point here, the market was the pullback was a bit not aggressive, but immediately the market begin to form all of this rejection, the pullback begin to become aggressive and eventually broke out of this trend line. You see, also you take out this level. This is a support level. The price took this support level out. That is called an aggressive pullback. So in this kind of pullback, you don't trade it. You don't trade such a pullback because you will just get stopped out on the market all the time. You understand? So this is a aggressive pullback. Let me show you another example of an aggressive pullback so you know what an aggressive pullback is. Okay, we have another trend line in this point. This is a downtrend market. This is a downtrend market, and we have another example here. You can see in this point the market was in a downtrend, right? Then the market fall down, it fall down here and fail to create new low, and the market reacted and broke out of this trend line. So now this pullback here is called an aggressive pullback. You see, this pullback that broke out of this trend line is called an aggressive pullback. This market should have respected this trend line and sold, but it broke out of this trend line immediately. You can see how the candles were all huge candles and they were moving so fast. Yeah, this is called an aggressive pullback. You understand? Then that is another example of aggressive pullback. Remember I said aggressive pullback are pullbacks that move fastly and they don't respect trend lines most of the times. That is often, and they don't often respect key levels. You understand? So those three key things, you need to put them in mind to know a aggressive pullback in the market. You understand? There are many aggressive pullbacks in the market. This is another aggressive pullback right here. You can see this pullback, this market movement here. It's an aggressive pullback. You understand? The market was uptrending in this phase. You can see it clearly. It was uptrending in this phase. Then this pullback was coming so aggressive. You can see this big huge candle that fall from here to this place. You can see the distance. Then you see this other one again. The distance of the candles were so much. So this was an aggressive pullback because this market should have at least buy, then retrace back to this trend line and continue the buy. But because the market was on an aggressive pullback, it fails to respect this trend line and eventually broke out of it. And also price also break out from this low. You can see why I said aggressive pullbacks. This is the most important thing you need to look after, which is number one, they move faster, and number two, aggressive pullbacks fails most of the time. That is let's say they fail 90% of the time. Aggressive pullback fails 90% of the time of respecting trend lines and key levels. That is why it is not worth trading. You understand? So that is for aggressive pullback. So the next one we have here is deep pullback. The second type of pullback is called deep pullback. You understand? We have aggressive pullback, the first one, then the second one is called deep pullback. And that deep pullback are pullback you trade in the market. You understand? Let's take a look at this first uptrend. Let's look for example. You can find a whole lot of deep pullback in the market because those deep pullbacks are what actually let price continue in the trend direction. You understand? If a aggressive pullback happens in the market, it's usually most of the times change trend or maybe change character, change the price character or behavior. You can also call it behavior. You understand? But this deep pullback is the kind of pullback we trade in the market. You understand? Example is when you see the market move up like this and it comes back. Okay, first of all, we got this first touch, second touch, third touch, right? So now this is called an aggressive pullback. Let me show you what an aggressive pullback looks like. Aggressive pullback is when the market is moving slowly on a slow pace. You understand? The market, you find out that when the market is coming back to your key zone or your trend line, you find out that the pullback is kind of slow. It takes time for it to reverse back to the your key level. You understand? So deep pullbacks are those slow movements, pullbacks. You understand? And they also tend to respect price levels like your trend line, your support and resistance level. Deep pullbacks respect those kind of level. So this is a deep pullback right here. You can see when the market was falling, there was an aggressive candle, but the market pulls back up. This whole thing that happened here was a consolidation in the lower time frame, and you can see that's why the market took time for it to rise back again. Then also once it came back here, it started to do a rejection. That shows that the pullback is a kind of a deep pullback. It's not like moving so fast. It's kind of deep. Then this other part, you can see this other part, the candle was aggressive here and aggressive here, but after that the candle began to slow down and you can see all the wicks the market was creating and the consolidation the market did here before it comes back to the trend line rather. You understand? So these are great. These are deep pullback. You can see another one here. The market was moving slow. You can't if you count the candlestick that the market took to get to this place, and also the one that took to get to this place, you see that it's a whole lot of hour and even up to a day that it took for the market to get to this place. But if you observe this one or this of the aggressive pullback, it was so fast. You understand? It was so fast. So now I believe you now understand the two type of pullback: the aggressive pullback and the deep pullbacks. You understand? So I say aggressive pullback are those fast candlestick movements pullbacks you find in your chart. When you find out that the market is moving an uptrend, then suddenly the pullbacks that the market is creating becomes aggressive. The candles become so huge, the pullbacks, you understand, those are called aggressive pullbacks. Then the deep pullbacks are those one that moves very slow. You find out that the market a candle will move bearish and the next candle will move upward, and sometimes you find out that the market is consolidating on a spot before it gets to the trend line or your key level. You understand? So those deep pullbacks are those slow movements and pullbacks. You understand? They don't move fast. They move slowly to get to your point of interest. You understand? That's why you have to be patient to execute in the right time. You understand? Let's look. Okay, now this is another example of a deep pullback. You can see this part where the market was doing this pullback. The pullback was very slow. It took a whole lot of time for this market to get to this level. Let's count the candle: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 candles, and these are from 4 hours. So just imagine how many days it took to get to here. It might be like up to a day or maybe more than that it took to get to this place. You understand? So that is it about deep pullback. You understand? So I believe you now understand what deep pullback simply means in the market. Deep pullback, you simply very understand it right now. Deep pullback, they are not aggressive, they don't move fast, they move slow to your point of interest, to your trend line or your key levels. If the pullback is very fast and if the candles are big, don't trade it. You understand? Don't trade it. It's a low probability setup. You have to ignore such kind of setup. You only trade those deep pullbacks, those ones that take a whole lot of time to reverse back to your trend line or your key level. You understand? If the pullback is aggressive, moving so fast, moving with huge candlestick, don't trade it. You understand? So the next thing here is aggressive pullbacks phase often. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Aggressive pullback do fail often because it moves so fast. You understand? So when it moves so fast, it often respects price key levels and your trend lines. You understand? Then deep pullbacks works 90% of the time. I have tested this countless time. It works very well. Deep pullback, it works 90% of the time. If you could look at the chart, if you find those aggressive pullbacks and those deep pullbacks, you find out that deep pullbacks, they do work more often than the aggressive pullback. You understand? So that is for that pullback. Deep pullback works 90% of the time. Then let's talk about why aggressive pullback often fail and why deep pullbacks works 90% of the time. You understand? 90% of the time means it usually works on your chart. You understand? You find out that once you take your trade, let's say you took about 5 trade and 3 out of that 5 goes to your way, that is a good profit for you. That means it's working. You understand? So when I say 90% of the time, it means it is working. Then aggressive pullback, it's often do not work. You understand? So it means most of the time, which is like 90% of the time, it does not work. So that's why it's not worth trading. You understand? It's not worth trading just because some people will call it like a manipulation movement, whereby the market will just be moving so aggressively. You understand? Then okay, I've talked about how to identify aggressive pullback and deep pullback on the chart, right? That is very, very clear. So I believe now you now understand what the two pullbacks simply means: aggressive pullback and deep pullback. You understand? So let me just show you some few more examples in this chart. Some few more examples. Let me show you some few more examples. So now this is a downtrend market. You can see where the market was going to create this low, lower low here. The market took a whole lot of time to get to this place. It was not like the market was moving so fast, just like how the market moved fast in these points. In this, you can see this market now: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It only took 6 candles to get to this place. But if you count the candles that it took from here to get back to here, it was a whole lot of candle. That is how you know aggressive pullback and deep pullback. Now this is a deep pullback. This is an aggressive pullback. You understand? Aggressive pullback moves so fast. Deep pullback moves slowly. They move slowly. They take time to get to the key level. You understand? So that is that. So I believe you now actually know what aggressive pullback simply means. And again, this is another aggressive pullback right here. You can see how the candle was so huge. Now if you see a very huge candle like this to your trend line, don't trade it. I repeat, don't trade it. If you observe the candlestick that ended in this trend line, they were all small candle. They were not aggressive. This one right here was very, very aggressive, but the market has to form a very aggressive selling pressure for the market to actually move to the downside. You understand? And the fact that the pullback that was coming up was not aggressive, that's why the market had to sell down. You understand? So in this kind of situation, once you see this kind of pullback coming in like this, you avoid it because you're just going to pay the market by losing your trades in this kind of situation. So I believe you understand perfectly what aggressive pullback and deep pullback simply means. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment on this video, and see you in the next one. Peace out.